Does anybody want to get married? Because I need to get on this. Like, I need to have kids. I need to get married before my grandparents pass away. And I also need to have kids before my dog passes away, because he's a really good kid dog. And I'm running out of time. You guys, it is hard out here. So applications are open. If you want to. It'll be hard, but I'm fun.
Isn't it funny how these women don't start taking marriage seriously, don't start getting off the dating apps, don't start looking for a husband until they're about to turn 30. Bless you, guys. Just sneezed. It's not until they're about to turn 30 that all of a sudden they're in sudden death overtime and they got to pop one in the end zone, right? You got to pop one in the end zone before we run out of time on the clock. Right? Hey, I'm in the fourth quarter of my looks, man. Somebody marry me. Somebody come get me. Somebody save me. Somebody put a ring on it. The time, ladies, to get married is not the night before you turn 30. The time to do this is preferably the night before you turn 20, right? Or 21 or 22. Just as long as you're still in your 20s somewhere, preferably under 25, right? That is what high value guys want. Yeah, you can fight this all you want, you can shoot the messenger all you want, but essentially what guys want is somebody who is younger, right? Somebody's younger, somebody who's not about to expire, right? And I mean, I really believe I was one of the very first, if not the first, to actually publicly say it, or have the balls to say it, that single women over 30 are typically DG. All, did I say all? No, I said typically, mostly. Okay, that doesn't mean all. There are some rare breeds out there, for whatever reason, have a different path in life, but most are DG after the age of 30 if they are still single. Because what I've found, being a professional pickup artist in the world over the last 3 decades, is the women who are over 30 that are still in these venues, I've tended to see over and over for decades. They still go to these venues. They're still single. They don't get married. No man puts a ring on it, no matter how hot they are. And many of them are quite hot still as they age, as they get older. Still plenty of attention from guys. Plenty of male suitors, even into their 40s. But you know what the difference is? Those guys will no longer put a ring on it. Those guys will no longer commit to her. Why? Because now she's beyond the age of 30. Right? They don't want to hear it. High value guys don't want to hear 30. No. They want to hear a number that has either a 1 or a 2 in it. Not a 3 or a 4 or a 5. They want to hear a number that starts with a 1 or a 2. Right? 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, and that tends to be the cutoff, right? If you're a little bit older than that, as long as it's under the age of 30, some guys will make an exception. If you're, a rare breed of female, if you're cool, you're fun to hang out with, you're nurturing, you're feminine, you're not yapping all this malarkey about being a boss babe and a bad bitch and all this alpha female. No. They don't want to hear that. On to the next clip.
It's crazy that as a girl, you're raised to believe that at 30, your life is like gonna end in some metaphorical way. But I'm 31, almost 32, and I feel like this is the best I've ever felt, looked, and just been in my entire life. So don't believe it. I can't wait to be 40.
This chick is going to be in for a rude awakening. Talking about how I can't wait to turn 40. Yeah, you wait until you turn 40, little girl. You just wait. And you will see all of your peers that are also in their 40s and still single, and how miserable and unhappy they are. Okay? And that is a fact. That is actually based on statistics, not that malarkey statistics that feminists are pushing from that Paul Doan, his name's like Paul Doan book, where he was this basically this simp, this male feminist beta, like wrote a book manipulating statistics, trying to tell women out there that, oh, you know, single women are much happier than married women. No. He definitely manipulated the statistics. He was citing false statistics, and I think since he's come clean about it, he's come clean and said yes, he manipulated the statistics, and he was pushing a narrative. However, these women don't bother to do their own research. They just keep parroting this, like, oh, women who aren't married and childless are happier. No. They're more miserable, and more on antidepressants than ever before. So yeah, this chick is another one that I talk about. It's always these women who just turned 30, 31, 32 even, who just came out of their 20s and still feel like they're 21 years old. They still feel like they're still young, right? Because they're in their very, very early 30s. But wait a couple of years, 3 or 4 years, once they start heading towards 40, once they cross like 35, that's when they start to see a little bit of the wrinkles. I'm getting them too, right? I've got them, I've had them. Starts to see a little more wrinkles, a little more crow's feet, a little bit more turkey neck, a little more gray in the hair, you know, and then they start to realize, like, shoot, I'm getting old. A little, the kicker is going to be a little less attention from men. It's the attention that they are used to getting from men will start to dwindle rapidly as they close in on their 40s, especially once they get in the 40s, right? They'll be lucky if they even get half of the same amount of attention they used to get from guys, which they won't. They'll usually dwindle down to about 10 to 15%, somewhere around there, by the time they're in their 40s. It doesn't mean that guys won't still find them attractive, or guys won't still like their photos and try to DM them. They'll get guys doing that, but it won't be the guys that they were used to getting. It won't be those high value guys, right? It'll be those lower tier guys, those beta simps, those socially awkward dudes, those dudes who aren't in 7 months of mastery, those dudes who aren't part of the red pill community, just the guys that they don't have respect for, right? Those are the type of guys that, you know, they'll get. And, you know, shockingly enough, these are the guys that they brag about. Like, oh my gosh, I got all these messages. I get hundreds of messages. It's like, you look at your clientele there, right? I would not be bragging if I was getting hundreds of messages from land whales, like 50-year-old, 60-year-old land whale. I would not be telling anybody. I'd be like, I'd be keeping that on the DL, son. I wouldn't be like on my social media, yeah, guys, you should see my DM. It's loaded with chicks. Like, no. But that is what they do, right? They kind of live in this fallacy of believing that they're still hot because they're getting all these incels giving them attention, which will be ending quite soon. As I pointed out in one of my latest videos, how I think it's entitled Pickup Artist, which is me, predicts the end of women by 2033. And I did predict that. So if you haven't seen that video, if it's not up yet, you should look for it on my 33 Secrets channel. It's a good one. But I've made a bold prediction of what's going to end women's entitlement, attitude, and validation. It's going to happen by 2033. Watch that video. So, yeah, I mean, this chick is still in her very early stages of getting old, right? So she still feels young. I mean, I still felt like I was like 29 or like 23 years old, you know, when I turned 30. But it's downhill from there if you're a chick, you know. And sadly, like, too many women in their early 30s still believe that they can compete with, you know, the 20-year-olds. You can't. You just can't at that age, right? Because, as I've said earlier, high value guys, once they hear that number that has a 3 in it, now you're just kind of like, you know, you're just bait material now. You're just good to come over and, you know, and do the thing. And I mean, yeah, they're really not looking to commit to a 30-year-old. I mean, most of those high value guys, which is the type of guys that these women want, are not going to commit to a 30-year-old. They're going to go for the younger women whose numbers begin with either a 1 or a 2. Right, one more clip.
There's like this huge problem that I've been noticing in the dating world. The good, respectful men, the men with boundaries, will not approach women because they're trying to respect their boundaries. And it is true that biologically speaking, women are far more attuned to subtleties, like body language subtleties, than men. So a lot of times women will actually be giving off clues and cues that they want to be approached, but it's more of like they're trying to give off a vibe or something, and the man has no idea. What ends up happening is that it's the men with no boundaries, or that don't respect boundaries, or the narcissists or the creeps, that end up approaching the woman, and then the women in my life complain that it's only the creeps that approach them, when it's really we women need to be giving off way more intense.
Okay, so this woman just did a whole lot of mental gymnastics to try to excuse the fact that Chad does not cold approach her. It's like, no, the reason why Chad is not cold approaching you is not because of boundaries. It's because he's not attracted to you. I mean, simple as that, right? If a high value guy is attracted to a chick, he's going to talk to her. Simple as that, right? Even if he has no game, he's going to try to strike up a conversation with her in some way, shape, or form. If he's not talking to you, that just means he's not attracted to you. I mean, it's simple as that. Are some guys, do some guys have cold feet? Do some guys have approach anxiety? Of course they do, right? But even those guys will try to look over at the girl looking for some sort of hint, and all the girl has to do is just kind of give him a hint and give him a reason to talk to her. Smile at him, anything, right? But this chick's not even getting that clearly because Chad is not putting in any effort whatsoever to go talk to her. And the reason why is because Chad is approaching much younger women. This chick's she looks like she's closing in on 40 there. Yeah, Chad is approaching much younger women. That is the reason. It's not because of boundaries. But you gotta love how these women make all sorts of excuses. But she's like, oh, but the guys who do approach me, the guys with no boundaries, the creepos, these average looking men, these guys who are non-Chads. It's like, well, maybe they're approaching you because they feel you guys are on the same level, right? And maybe the reason Chad isn't approaching you is because he realizes you're not on the same level and he's out of your league. Simple as that. Right? There's no rocket science to this. Why can't these chicks figure this out? Right? If you want to get approached by Chad, it's gonna have to be while you're sleeping in your dreams, because it's just, he's not gonna do it. Right? And the guys who are approaching you, who are working up the courage to talk to you in real life, I mean, that takes balls. Maybe you should give them a little more respect than, mocking them here in your video. So, as always, gentlemen, drop your comments below. Let me know what you think of tonight's coaching video. Anything you'd like to add, anything you'd like to share, please drop them in the comments below, and I will see you there right in my comments, son. With that said, this is M from the 33 Secrets. Go ahead and smash that like button below. Do it now. Also, hit the notification bell right next to it so you're notified whenever I release a brand new coaching video here on YouTube. More importantly, guys, please make sure you subscribe to my channel. Helps me out a ton when you guys subscribe, so please make sure you subscribe to my channel as well. And for all you guys who want to support my work and all of this incredible, amazing red pill, gold pill, and platinum pill content that I am teaching you even further, the best way to do that is by jumping into my monthly online coaching program, 7 months to mastery, where I'm teaching guys just like you how to go out there and approach and close the youngest, hottest, and most beautiful looking women on the planet. I am talking about 8s, 9s, and 10s, baby. The hottest women on the planet. Okay, I teach you how to do that in 7 months of mastery. And you know what? I have tons, thousands upon thousands of successful students now all around the world. Okay, a lot of these guys often drop comments in my comment section talking about how they're in my program, they've met their dream girl, they've met their future wife. I've had a number of students who've been through my 7 months of mastery program already met their wife thanks to my teachings, right? They met a high value, high caliber, hot wife right? Way above what they were able to get previously before they jumped into my program, 7 Months of Mastery. They were able to get a girl who was much, much more attractive, much hotter, and much higher value thanks to my teachings. And you know what? I want you to become one of them. Even if you don't plan on getting married, find yourself a cool chick, a high value chick, not one of these like low value, like DG single moms, or women who are passive prime or damaged goods or anything like that. I want to teach you how to go out there and get high value women, just like my students are all around the world. You can become one of us, and all you need to do is click that link below in my description box. It will take you over to my website where you can get signed up right now. It just takes 2 seconds, and it's only $1 for the entire first month of coaching lessons. So it's only $1 for the entire first month of high value coaching lessons from me. So take advantage of it, and it's the best way to support my work, guys. And thank you very much if you do. I appreciate it. Thanks in advance, and let's crack on out of here.